this question here about the fundamental gaps preventing companies from realizing value from digital investments. And I'm curious if what your feeling was in that was more oriented towards digital investments, like not getting value out of AI, or did you feel like from a manufacturing perspective, the focus was more on not getting digital value from other technology investments?
From other technology investments, 100%, right? So I think the ones that are doing AI well, right, which was a handful of ones that could even give like case studies of how they're leveraging AI. And most of them were built around Copilot, to be fair. And I'm like, did Microsoft give you that case study, or is that actually your case study?
Or did I call that?
Right. And I mean, so a lot of them have like specialized Copilot to which like that's not a bad thing, right? But remember, is that specialized because Microsoft wants to put your big name on a label of people that are using Copilot, or is it actually benefiting your organization? Either answer is fine. There's no bad answer to that conversation. It's just an awareness of what you need to know. So I think those foundational gaps are a huge piece in just technical IT maturity. A big gap too for these larger companies is just the hostage white knuckle that their software has on them, right? And they can't do certain things with SAP. They can't do certain things with Oracle that they want to be able to do. And that's, as I said, we're not going to change that overnight. Should you pull those contracts? Should you start having somebody look into that? For sure, right? Like, let's read what we actually can and cannot do, not just what, our rep is telling us what we can and cannot do. But when it comes to data blocking for different, add-on applications, that's a real fight that's happening. And the fight, the people that are victims in that fight are the businesses, not the software companies, right?
Yeah.
So,
and in that, I like this as a follow-up question: were there certain conversations that felt urgent versus aspirational, right? Like, how much of this was big companies going to try to sell some big dream versus conversations that were more practical on we're trying to figure out how to solve a real problem here, not with wishes and rainbows, but with real actions.
And they were very much on that. So, we got a lot of feedback on the first day. Like, we get this, like, especially from the Deloitte picture that they painted. That wasn't that. I'll be totally honest. That didn't go over as well as I think they wanted it to, because it was too high level, right? These people are well understand that, right? Like, they need to get into that next level of manufacturing. I think an interesting piece of that gap that I just want to address too, that I felt like was something I'd never thought about before, is they have kind of like these two bookends of the workforce right now, right? They have boomers that don't have any idea what AI is, nor do they want to know what AI is, but they've done the same job for 40 years and they're not interested in changing. And that can be a challenge, right? And then they have the other end of the workforce, which is this Gen Z, which is the only generation that really grew up with AI in education. They also are scared to use AI because they don't want to get in trouble. It's been, ingrained in them that we don't use that in real professional settings, blah, blah, blah. And now that kind of has to be retooled and retaught. So a lot of what the people that we're talking, especially in higher education, the next generation of workforce in manufacturing, have created these manufacturing labs in higher education or at technical schools, right? So that you can go in and learn these types of things that you actually would need to learn on the shop floor, thus bringing up the workforce in domestic American manufacturing, or Canadian, North American manufacturing, I should say, right? And so I think that's a huge gap that comes with that application too. What are you doing? How does it affect this team and this role? Right? We're done talking like AI, and we're done with the exploratory budgets too. Like, that's not something that's being approved anymore. So we need to prove it.